Hey, your boys, 011's doing today. As for me, hopeful. There's a few funny things that's been happening the last or month or so, I believe, and uh, I'm trying to get back into things. As you know, I got notes here. I like to talk about things, and I want to say that the auto translate feature on Twitter X has been a blessing. As someone who enjoys Japanese media and does not like tourists, I love seeing the culture exchange that's happening between Japanese creators and what we as Western fans, the fans who aren't tourists, who aren't trying to colonize the media, have been experiencing for a long while. I'd say at least a decade right now, maybe more, because there's some odd things going on where the creative visions are being destroyed by Western sensibilities through localization. Now, what makes sense to me, at least early on, for localizing when have a foreign media that is relatively new to an environment. That makes sense for like the 80s, 90s, a little bit in the early 2000s for kids. But makes some sense when the foreign media is a little bit new. But we've had translations forever, and for some reason I don't understand why. I have ideas. We have people who are going out of their way to make the media comfortable, more like colonizing someone else's work, so that people get a different viewpoint than what the author intended. It's just so weird when a media who's foreign, the idea of watching foreign media is to watch something different, to experience something different. Why should I be comfortable? People who actually want to observe foreign media want something different. Amazing. Wow. Why do I need to be comfortable? You should be uncomfortable. That's the whole idea. You want to experience something different. And why I'm really hopeful about a lot of these things is, well, like I said, the whole translation thing. What's funnier to me, though, is that there's the reaction to this auto translation feature, where let me just move over to the tab here. A media figure in Japanese media, Kanen Aoki, trying my best here, says that the translation tool is ruining the reputation of Japan. Now, she's not entirely wrong that, the world does see Japan as a polite society, but if you live in the real world, okay, you know that cultures have their variations. There's the bad side and the good side. And I feel like seeing this auto translate is a raw representation of the kinds of people who should be vocal about the media they make, right? And it's like, oh, we want to look nice for the world. No. We know what Japan is. Like, actually, okay? They're not just a hug box of sunshine and rainbows, okay? They've got their rough edges too. That's fine. That's every culture, right? And so it is fine. I love it. I love seeing internet culture converge. It's a weird thing. There's a convergence here. And it's raw. I love it. So what even more hopeful for me is there's, more people in the industry who, are now more aware of tourists, like Hideki Kamiya, who is, I don't know, someone who's a little bit important, Bayonetta, DMC, Resident Evil, and you see this response here. I love that he sees the little worms, the terrible people who tried to co-opt everything and saying, hey, shut up, right? And he's not laying it down. I love it. So Kamiya-san, keep doing what you're doing, right? I love you. I've never played any of your games, but I will strongly consider buying many of them now, okay? I do respect the media. I love that, looking at the themes of each one, those three I mentioned at least, right? Over the top, action-oriented games, like Hollywood over the top stuff. We need that sort of media, right? Bayonetta, I've seen. DMC, Resident Evil, I have said to my friends, is a video game franchise that is just a over the top Hollywood horror, and I'm not the only one who says this, horror like homage It's amazing. It's campy. I love it. You gotta have those one lines. You got the weird characters who are almost caricatures, but they have depth, obviously. But I love that. So this is to me really hopeful because knowing that these creatives know, okay, these people are butchering our stuff. There's stricter guidelines for whoever translates and localizes, but I really feel like localizing isn't important. Wow, imagine my shock. Imagine your shock of me saying that, especially because last year, even creators like Hideaki Anno, very obvious about his distaste for audiences who try to, well, not audiences, but studios or other people who's telling them to serve the wider audience, the global audience that people keep talking about. No, shut up. The global audience actually should not matter. I know it matters for matters of business because those business people need to have line go up. They need their quarterly earnings go up. Blah, blah, blah. No. It's an art. This stuff is art. And however they want to express it should be how they're allowed to express it. And especially if their initial audience is Japanese people, I'm all for them saying, yeah, we want to make stuff for Japanese people. Good. Because that's why people like Japanese media. Because it's Japanese. It's authentic, right? I don't want an Americanized version of a Japanese media. I don't want any localizer co-opting someone's work saying, oh, I have a book that it's about someone's cross-dressing. Let me make it about trans people. Real story, by the way. So yeah, I am really happy. This is one of the best changes for X, Twitter. I mean, there's other things you talk about, but I think it's great. So I want to hear your thoughts about this sort of thing. I think it's quite positive. Seeing them being more aware of how people who are licensors are butchering their media, or even Crunchyroll still doing its thing. Sony overall as a parent company, they're not a Japanese company anymore. They're a global company now. They're California's little globalized little shithole. In my opinion, yeah, it sounds rough, huh? That sounds, but I'll continue not supporting them by not buying their product. Wow. So I'll buy things, from the home soil overseas if I need to, So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this sort of thing. I think it's a great thing to see Japanese creatives being more aware of what's happening with their works overseas. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. You'll hopefully see more of these very opinionated things from your boy here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Boop.